Got a question for you guys just to start this thing out, by the way.
What's that?
What's a more successful play in NFL today? Brandon Aubrey kicking field goals or the tush push?
Well, Aubrey
One's
is
legal,
not
one's
cheating.
not.
Yeah. We're seeing quickly here the tush push is becoming a total
Noxious.
mockery of the sport.
I can't believe all the owners that voted to keep it. You know, after watching this weekend, how many pushes did they have? 12? They had 12 pushes?
Especially the
I
Chiefs.
think they ran it 7 times, and it was just obvious basically on every single one of them.
Offsides.
They're offsides, and the interior linemen are moving before the ball snapped.
Yeah.
So it's a joke
So
of
there's
a
a
play.
false start and an offsides. And the Chiefs were one of the teams that voted for it to stay. So shame on them.
I like what Seattle's doing. Seattle's putting their tight end, like their third tight end in there. He's their push guy. So he's the quarterback on that play.
There you go.
I think we need to talk about that here for the Cowboys. I don't know if they got any tight ends that are physical enough, but maybe that's a good job for
Maybe
Skinny.
Spanford. That's a big boy.
Spanford.
Hey, we should ask Ferguson on Thursday. Hey, would you be interested in some tush push action?
Tush push. It's funny that, like I say, they look off sides every play.
Every play. The center is a half a yard beyond the ball, it seems.
Yeah. And the officials have no clue how to call that.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, they have no clue.
And then
they'll call it 9 other times, but they won't call it on this one particular play of being in the neutral zone.
We talked about LP, Lattice LaDucer.
Yeah.
And Washington that one time called out, okay, he does something with the ball where he moves it right before the snap. And so they ended up, the officials caught it and said, okay, they threw a flag and ended up costing the Cowboys the game. Like, can coaches not go pregame and be like, hey, can you watch the way they're lining up here?
Yeah.
They're offsides. And the officials then go ahead and boom, here's a flag. Because nobody's calling it, and it is bizarre. I don't understand it.
Just amazing how accurate that kicker is, though.
He's the man.
They're going to run a play. They're going to run a 3-yard play, basically, so just to get him in field goal range.
But if you're asking which play would I rather have in my toolkit as a coach, I'd have to say the tush push right now.
Because the way you score touchdowns with it.
At third and 2, it's automatic. We're going to do this thing twice and have a first down. 4th and 1, we're taking them all. 4th and 2, we're taking a lot of those. Yeah, it's going to keep so many drives alive. They're playing a different game with that thing. They really are.
Yeah. I think that, to me, if you gave me a choice between the two, I think I would take the tush push, too. It just seems like, to me,
if you're allowed to cheat, then why not?
Well, the owners, again, voted for it. Had a chance to knock that thing out. They didn't knock it out.
No, for sure. But then when you're a referee and you see what's taking place on the field, it's your job to throw the flag.
Yeah. Zach, if you want to help me on some of this stuff, chime in about some of this, what you guys saw. And everybody chime in with what they saw. Chime in. Offensive line. We'll start with them. Seriously, where should we start? Offense or defense on this team? Where would you like me to start?
I guess start with the bad and finish with the good.
Kind of feel like I've talked a lot about the bad with the corners and stuff like that. And I don't think it's the corners' fault. I do think the lack of pass rush is pretty evident, though. Here
it is.
Yeah,
and I mean,
I don't think it's all Mike. I don't think it's all has to do with Micah Parsons. If you have Micah Parsons, you could probably get away with rushing 4.
I'll tell you what, I thought Solomon Thomas is a good, Ose is a good, Kenny Clark's a good. Was Kenneth Murray Jr. as good as he looked on TV? It'd be a question I'd have for you about this defense.
Yes, I think definitely a better game.
Yes. A much better game with Murray. I'll tell you the problem that they had in him and Jack Sanborn. You talk about coverage and the cover 2 coverage. You remember with Monty Kiffin and Lane and Monty Kiffin and also
Marinelli,
Rod Marinelli. Remember how the Buccaneers used to play that what they call that Tampa 2, where they run the Mike linebacker deep and try and take
Derek Brooks.
Derek Brooks is in the Hall of Fame for being able to cover the middle of the field that way. Turn and go.
Get back to a safety shot.
Sean Lee could do it for Rod. He was capable, but Sanborn doesn't have that ability.
They tried to run this thing twice. Both times with big plays involved.
Sanborn being the guy dropping?
Sanborn dropping one time and Murray being the other guy. And Murray got caught up with tight end Johnson and couldn't, he got locked up on him and couldn't get deep. And now the ball's down the middle of the field. That's a problem.
It is.
It just goes back. It just goes back to asking your guys to do things you can't absolutely do. I think it's a real struggle right now for Donovan Ezraku.
And Flu should know that about Sanborn from last year. He's been with him for 3 seasons.
You know what? If you feel like that those guys, I guess you have to see it and see it not work, but he ran it twice, and both times it got chunk plays.
If you wanted a box score, you could say yes, but they've stopped the run in this so effectively in this game. Could they get better at what you're talking about and have as good a chance of stopping the run as they've had?
I think I said this earlier, maybe before the season started. Maybe it was on Love of the Star. I wouldn't run the ball against Dallas, if not the way they currently are configured. Not with the way that if you have a lack of pass. The thing that worried me were the corners in this thing. That my biggest concern was everybody's like saying, "Oh, the run defense." I'm like, you seen how they're playing this? You seen the pass defense a little bit?
Yeah, and Kenny Clark's been fantastic. I mean, he led the team in pressures yesterday. Solomon Thomas was really good.
The pass defense against the Eagles was just because of Jalen Hurts. It was more on Jalen Hurts not pulling the trigger. That Russell Wilson was willing to throw the ball into whatever coverage you were in. See, to me, I was more worried that they were going to not fix the pass defense, and then you get Diggs back and stuff. And that wasn't all Diggs' fault, by the way. And
I did hear post game, like some players were talking, and there was a lot of communication errors on the back end.
Yeah.
And it's learning, the new defense. I mean, this one a little more complicated than what Zim was running, according to some players. And you're mixing and matching new personnel, so everyone was not on the same page.
How complicated is to play cover 2?
The cover 2 is not complicated, but I guess some of these guys.
I mean, I'm not just trying to slam you on this thing.
No, I'm not saying it's complicated. But from a player's perspective in that room, they might feel that way.
But okay, then this is the thing that bothers me then the most is why Dan Quinn came in here with a cover 3 guy, single high step. Dan Quinn, Dan Quinn then figured out it's like, wow, I've got a pass rush. I've got guys that can play man coverage. I don't need to play cover. I just lock up and let's go. Mike Zimmer. Well, I've got some guys that can. Coaches adjust. They adjust to what they're doing. And I think this is the thing that bothers me the absolute most is not knowing your personnel. Not knowing, how could you not know, and just, I don't know how you don't study games and watch and see Donovan Wilson is not that type of guy. And I know I'm beating a dead horse about this, but this is the thing that bothers me about coaches at times. We set up our team, we put our team together. We have an idea of like, oh, this guy, we need this guy, we need this guy, we need this guy. And then all of a sudden you do stuff with those guys that they can't do.
Yeah, you got to play to your strengths, especially from a team that says they want to be multiple and versatile. They're not showing that.
They're not showing that at all. I'll say this though, you talked about the defensive lineman though. I think Donovan Ezeraku, I think the worst thing that could have happened to him was that Micah Parsons left here. Because now all of a sudden Fowler, Ezeraku, Sam Williams, all those guys have to step up. And the thing that bothers me about Donovan Ezeraku, I think now he's playing too tall.
Yeah, and he's on the ground way too much.
And his balance is a problem.
It is. He also got some pressure in the fourth quarter, again, like last week.
Yeah.
So I think, Sam Williams made his play in overtime, but Sam Williams was bad. Fowler was not good. This is 2 straight games. Fowler wasn't good.
Right.
So James Houston's their best pass rusher right now, and he had 12 snaps. And I was asking you pre-show, like, what is it about James Houston? Are they trying to preserve him because he played spring football? Maybe they're worried about him wearing down at the end of the year, but he's a guy that needs to be on the field. He's their best pass rusher. He has been through 2 weeks.
I kind of felt like that this was the week that we were going to see something from Marshawn Nealon. And he was okay.
Yeah.
There was nothing there. See, that bothers me too. Here we are, talked about the Giants' offensive line and the tackles and how they have problems at certain spots.
Exactly.
And you don't take advantage of that. You don't.
Frustrating.
You don't win one-on-one matchups against those guys. Now, give them credit, though. Dallas was able to get some stops in the overtime period. But that was really kind of it. Everything else, I mean, you should not give up the amount of chunk plays that they gave up in that football game.
Here's what I'm kind of worried about is you got guys that your team drafted and you want to put out there, but really you should get more Houston. You should get more Solomon Thomas. I think he only had 30 snaps. I'd play him a lot more. I'd play Houston a lot more. And I'm wondering if, hey, we drafted these guys and we got to develop them.
Sure.
There's a big gap between what's capable of veterans on the team and guys you drafted.
Last thing I want to kind of talk about there, I'm finally glad they got George Pickens involved.
Yes. Yeah, that was amazing.
See, George Pickens, this is what you could do with George Pickens. You could run him down the field. He's going to draw pass interference calls. Run him on slants. He's going to make big catches. He's running slants with guys on inside leverage on him and still getting inside and making the catch. Give Dak some credit for throwing him the ball too, by the way. But that pass, it's one of the best passes I've ever seen Dak throw. There's that out on right at the pylon. The window on that pass was as small as you can imagine, and he fit that thing right in. And George Pickens, strong hands, body to kind of keep the defender out of the way, and then to be able to stay in the end zone.
The crosser late was nasty as well, down on the right.
He is, that's what I'm saying. You just
he's putting it.
Play him on the move. Let him get involved in these games. He is a nightmare for defensive backs to deal with. Maybe even more of a nightmare than what CeeDee Lamb does. George Pickens is a hell of a football player. I'm glad to see they got him involved in this one. He was the reason why you won this football game.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.